The Mouse and the Moonlight. In a quiet corner of a vast forest, beneath a hollow log, lived a curious little mouse named Mira. She was no ordinary mouse. Her whiskers twitched constantly with excitement, and her tiny black eyes always sparkled with wonder. Mira loved exploring the forest at night, guided by the soft glow of the moonlight. Unlike her fellow mice, who stayed close to their burrows, Mira wandered far and wide, marveling at the towering trees, glistening dew, and the gentle hum of the nocturnal world. "The moon is my guide," she often said, gazing up at the silver orb in the sky. "It lights the way to adventures." One cool autumn evening, as Mira scampered through the forest, she noticed a faint flicker near a bush. Curious, she approached cautiously. There, trapped in a web of sticky spider silk, was a tiny firefly. Its glow was faint, and its wings were tangled. The firefly struggled weakly but couldn't break free. "Help! Please help me!" the firefly pleaded in a trembling voice. Mira hesitated. She had heard stories of clever traps set by predators. What if this was a trick? But as she looked closer, she saw the firefly's genuine distress. Her heart softened. "Don't worry," Mira said, her whiskers twitching. "I'll free you." Using her sharp teeth and nimble paws, Mira carefully gnawed at the strands of the web. It was sticky work, and the web clung to her fur, but she didn't stop. Finally, with one last bite, the firefly broke free. It flitted weakly into the air, its glow growing brighter. "Thank you, little mouse," the firefly said, bowing its tiny head. "You've saved my life. My name is Lumo. How can I ever repay you?" Mira smiled. "No need to repay me. I was happy to help. Be careful next time." Lumo nodded and buzzed away into the night. Mira continued her journey, feeling a sense of satisfaction she couldn't quite explain. The days turned colder, and the forest grew darker as the moon waned. One particularly cloudy night, the sky was completely black. Mira, who had ventured farther than usual, suddenly found herself lost. The familiar landmarks were hidden in shadow, and the comforting glow of the moon was nowhere to be seen. Panic crept into her tiny heart. "What do I do?" she squeaked, her voice trembling. She ran in circles, trying to find her way back, but the darkness was too thick. The forest, which had always felt like home, now seemed vast and menacing. Suddenly, a faint glow appeared in the distance. Mira froze. Could it be? The glow grew brighter, and soon she saw Lumo flying toward her, his light cutting through the darkness. "Lumo!" Mira cried, her whiskers twitching with relief. "Are you lost, little mouse?" Lumo asked, his tiny face filled with concern. "Yes," Mira admitted. "The moon isn't here to guide me tonight." Lumo smiled gently. "The moon may rest, but friends can light the way too. Follow me." Hovering above her, Lumo illuminated the path with his golden glow. He led Mira through the dense forest, past thorny bushes and over mossy stones. As they traveled, Lumo spoke of his life as a firefly, how he and his kind lit the nights to help one another, and how they relied on the kindness of others in return. After what felt like hours, Mira saw the familiar outline of her hollow log. She squeaked with joy and turned to Lumo. "Thank you, Lumo. I don't know what I would have done without you." Lumo's light flickered warmly. "Kindness has a way of circling back, little mouse. You helped me when I was trapped. Tonight, I was happy to return the favor." From that night on, Mira's nightly adventures took on a new meaning. She no longer wandered just for the thrill of it but looked for opportunities to help those in need, just as Lumo had helped her. Over time, her actions inspired other animals in the forest. The once self-centered world of the nocturnal creatures began to transform. Animals started looking out for one another, sharing resources, and lighting each other's paths in times of darkness. Years later, Mira, now an elder mouse with silver streaks in her fur, sat under the moonlight with her grandchildren. She told them the story of Lumo, the firefly who had guided her home. "Remember," she said, her eyes shining, "you may not always have the moon to guide you, but you'll always have the light of kindness, yours and others. And that light will never fade." Moral of the story: small acts of kindness can brighten even the darkest nights.